Let's explore the Transients module, the section where you can view, analyze, and manage all the transients stored in your WordPress database. Here you'll find every transient that exists, those created by WordPress itself, by your active plugins and themes, and sometimes leftover transients from old or uninstalled plugins. Each row displays the transient name, its value, size, autoload status, expiration state, site ID in multi-site setups, and the belongs to column, which we'll discuss later. Next to the transient's value, you'll notice a small eye icon. Clicking it opens a viewer that lets you see the full content of that value. If the data is serialized or encoded, you can switch between the original and formatted view to make it easier to read. This is especially useful for checking complex data like arrays or JSON structures stored inside transients. The autoload column indicates whether a transient is automatically loaded by WordPress on every page load. Now let's move to the expired column, an important indicator specific to this module. Here you can instantly see whether a transient has expired or is still valid. When the value shows no, it means the transient hasn't expired. If you hover over it, a tooltip will appear showing the exact expiration date and time in your local time zone. If it shows yes, it means the transient is expired and can usually be deleted safely. You can sort the list by any column, for example by transient name or by size, to quickly find large transients that take up the most space. At the top, you'll see an orange preset filters area. This section highlights important information right away, such as when expired transients are detected, when large transients are found, or when some transients haven't been scanned yet. Each message includes a filter link. Clicking it instantly displays the corresponding transients. For example, clicking the Expired Transients Detected message will list only expired transients so you can delete them right away. Expired transients are temporary pieces of data that WordPress should normally delete automatically once they expire. However, due to issues like failed cron jobs, caching plugins, or unexpected errors, these expired entries can sometimes persist in your database. This preset area works the same way across several modules and helps you immediately identify what deserves attention. Just below, you'll find the Filters bar, which lets you refine your list using several criteria. You can search for transients by keyword and choose where to search in the transient name, the value, or both. You can also filter by autoload status, by expired state, by size, and if you're in a multi-site setup, by site to display transients from a specific subsite. Once you've applied filters, you can hide this bar to free up space. And if you want to return to the full view, click Reset Filters to show all transients again. Below the filters, you'll find the categorization filters, which group transients into quick access categories: all transients, orphans, plugin transients, theme transients, WordPress transients, and not scanned. Now let's move to the belongs to column, a key part of this module. Right after installing the plugin, this column will only display data for WordPress core transients and for Advanced Database Cleaner itself. To detect which plugin or theme created the other transients, you'll need to perform a scan. Click Start a Scan for Transients. You can choose between two scan modes: Local Scan, which uses an advanced algorithm to detect ownership based on your current environment, or Full Scan, which also includes a remote step that connects to our central server and compares your transients against a large, constantly updated database of known plugins and themes. The remote scan is more accurate but may take a little longer, especially if your site contains many transients or plugins. Once the scan completes, the Belongs to column will be updated with all detected relationships. You can then use the categorization filters to view which transients belong to plugins, themes, WordPress core, or which ones are orphans that don't belong to any known source. Next to each Belongs to entry, you'll find a small More Info icon. Clicking it opens the detailed modal with extra information about that transient, showing the known plugins or themes that use it, as well as their status, whether they're active, inactive, or not installed. This data is usually provided by our central server, which analyzes a large database of WordPress add-ons. However, in some cases, it can also be detected locally, for example, if the plugin or theme was still installed before the scan. That means you can even find connections with add-ons you've already uninstalled. If a transient is marked as orphan, but the modal shows its links to a plugin you previously used, you can confidently confirm that that plugin created that transient. This helps you make safer and more informed cleanup decisions. Now, let's move on to the Bulk Actions menu located above the list. These actions apply only to the transients that you've selected using the checkboxes on the left. Let's go through them one by one. The Scan action rescans only the selected transients to update their belongs to data. It's faster than rescanning the entire database. Next, the Edit Scan Result action lets you manually assign ownership to one or more transients. When you click it, a window appears where you can set the selected transients as belonging to a plugin, a theme, WordPress, or mark them as orphans. If you choose Don't Assign to any category, those transients will return to their original Not Scanned Yet status. You can also send your manually corrected transients anonymously to our server to help improve the accuracy of our detection database. You can always show your manually corrected transients by clicking this plus button and enabling Show Manual Corrections Only. When enabled, this displays only the transients you've manually corrected using the Edit Belongs To action. It's very useful when reviewing your manual changes later. The Set Auto Load to Yes and Set Auto Load to No actions let you change the auto load status of the selected transients. For example, if you've identified large or unnecessary auto-loaded transients, you can switch them to No to reduce memory usage and improve performance. Finally, the Delete action permanently removes the selected transients from your database. Use this carefully and only after confirming they are safe to delete, especially when dealing with cached or temporary data used by active plugins. And before we finish, remember, always make a full database backup before performing any critical operation, such as deleting transients or modifying auto-load settings. Even though the plugin handles operations safely, having a backup ensures you can restore your data if you need.